on. Ah, it's crazy. I think we picked. Is that the one we be picking? Oh, that one I think is what we picked. All right, guys. Hey, it is August the 2nd, 2024. I know I have not sat before you recording any videos lately. I've kind of got caught up in life. I do several other things. First, it just passed the birthday of my mother. This was her 62nd birthday. She's no longer with us. Um, but we still celebrate. I still celebrate her birthday. And she was born in 1962. So I'm like, 62, 62. Wow, isn't that's really special? Um, 6 and 2 is 8. So 8 and 8. And then my daughter reminded me that she passed away 8 years ago. So wow, 888 there. Um, so I was doing some things, celebrating with my family, just being reminded of my mother, and just thanking God for my mother. I'm sorry, there's some weird bug crawling across my windshield, and I don't want it to come in, but it's hot. Oh my gosh! But I don't. I want to always remember that I had a great, awesome mother. Now, she was not perfect. We had some issues, like we're going to get into that in this channel. Um, but overall, I could not. I mean, we can't have perfect parents because none of us can be perfect. You know what I'm saying? So, full circle, if your parent was a good parent, you start to see, even if they have faults, you start to understand. Oh gosh. Okay, it's hot. Sorry, y'all. I'll cut the air down. I don't even feel the air though. Oh, because it's on. That's why. Because it was on defroster. It's been raining. It's about to rain. It's been raining crazy, flooding here in Florida. I know last week um, I was coming home from visitation, going to see my husband, and I take my granddaughter each week. He and her like are building their relationship, and she loves to go see him weekly. So we were coming home, like as soon as we were leaving visitation, it was about to pour down raining, and it did rain, but I'm like, I didn't think it rained that hard. For the streets were literally flooded, and I seen a car that was like stuck in the road. It was a couple, maybe a few yards up, and it was just stuck. And I'm like, oh shoot, like how did they even ride through that like that, thinking they can get through? Because I could clearly see from here that no, that's too deep. Don't even try to put your car through that. And I veered off, made a U-turn, and found a way to go behind the building and around some type of way. But they tried to go through it, and their car got stuck. So I'm like, wow, like how the roads flooding like that? That's crazy. But yeah, so we been having a lot of rain here in Florida, like a lot of heavy rain. But then it's when it's not raining, it is hot as jail, hot as jail. And I say jail because jail is hell. And I know this is a side note, and this is for my other channel, but we are chosen ones over here. I do believe that my passion and my purpose is justice, criminal justice reform specifically. So the overall niche is justice, but specifically criminal justice reform. And just a few moments before I start this story time, I want to just talk about the heat, the excessive heat. It is reaching in the hundreds in the South, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, all those places. I'm in a lot of prison reform groups. Sorry, my contact decides to fall off my eye right now. as I'm speaking. Come on. It hurts. Ugh. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Just go back on my eye. God, hold on. Ah. But all those places in the South during the summer months, it gets excessively hot. And Florida is hot most of the year round almost. You get a little bit of coolness. And they're expected to be inside of cedar block cells. This ain't gonna work. This is not gonna work. And I hate to pull my contact out because I just put muscle up cream on my neck. Because my neck is hurting a lot. So now I'm about to get that all in my eye. Because now my contact hurting. Oh, God, that hurts. Usually I could just keep pressing it around until it goes back properly on my eye, but it wasn't doing it. That was hurting. Jesus, have mercy. Oh, have mercy, Lord, that hurts. Now I can't see it. It looked like it's something on my contact, but here's the little hard behind contact that hurts the gel out of me. But it is the only way that I'm able to see without it. I am legally blind. So though it is challenging at times to wear that thing is the reason why I can drive and why I can still function. Sorry. Okay, I'm trying to find my contact solution. Okay, anyways, so it gets so hot during these months, and there is no AC in prisons. There's cinder block cells. There's no circulating air, and it is so extremely hot. At times, it is hotter inside the cell than outside, and it's already you can see how hot it is outside, but it gets hotter inside than it is outside at times. And then it's hot all day long, even when the sun sets, it's hot. It's just sweltering heat. I did an interview on my channel with a lady that did time in Florida DOC, and she said that during the extreme hot summers, during the evening times, the guards would allow the inmates, but we don't call them any inmates anymore because that's derogatory. But the citizens that are locked up, they would allow them to get into the shower with their clothes on, wet their clothes, jump back into bed, and then within a couple hours, they would be right back dry. And then they would repeat the process, and that's how they would stay cool through the night. And that many heat strokes happen, many people lose their lives due to these extreme heat. And a lot of people don't care because they say, you know what, they shouldn't have did what they did. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. That's that holier than thou stance. Not knowing that our system is not fair nor just. Many people are in prison that should not be there. My husband is one of them, wrongfully incarcerated. That is not a freak accident. There are many people wrongfully incarcerated in DLCs all over this country. There are many that are excessively sentenced. There are people, because they have skin brown like mine, that got more time than people that have other skin tones. It is really a money grab. It's not about justice. And that answers your question as to why your neighborhoods are no safer. Because it's not there to keep us safe, like they claim. So that was just a quick plug. I'm sorry. I just always, that is my passion, that is my purpose. I believe that's why um, the Lord had me go through the things that I went through um, with my husband being wrongfully convicted, because he wanted to open my eyes, because I felt the same way. The way majority feel, like, who cares, we're suffering and we didn't do nothing wrong, so they deserve what they get, you know what I'm saying? Like setting yourself high and then looking down low on them, not knowing that many of them don't deserve it. And many of them, maybe if you walked in their shoes and you went through the things that they went through, maybe you wouldn't be free out here. Maybe you would be incarcerated just like them, right? We're all one decision, one split decision can land you in prison. For my husband, his split decision was taking a ride from his cousin on a hot Florida day, walking home. Hey, cuz, you want to ride? Yeah, sure. That one decision landed him incarcerated for the last 22 years of his 40-year sentence. So you should care, because you could be the next bed filler. But I'm sorry, that's my passion, my purpose, and I believe why God had me come down this road, because I am to help others that go down this road, right? So, anyways, complete detour. On my other channel, I call myself Cadillac. That's my artist name. Cadillac got off track. And if you see any of my videos that I upload from my other channel, I refer to myself as Cadillac all the time. That's my name. But on here, I'm just Keita. I'm just me. I'm just telling you my stories. Okay. And also, I believe dealing with these narcissistic relationships also has to deal with justice, because I started thinking, like, hold on, I'm fighting for justice for my husband, for other people. I had to fight for justice within my mother's wrongful outing, where she was outed from negligence after having an outpatient surgery. Something that people come home from all the time, but she didn't come home from. I had to fight for my identity theft. I had to fight. I had to fight the wrongful, when just last year, oh my gosh, just last year, when the landlords were trying to overstep their reach and just trying to stick it to me because I moved out. Because I had to move out because I could no longer afford their rent. So God has always had me fighting injustice my whole life, from being bullied, when I had to learn to stand up for myself, from all situations my whole life. It seemed like it always boiled back down. Once you put it in the pot and boil it down, it all boils back down to justice. Fighting injustice, fighting for justice. And being in a narcissistic relationship, many of them, for much of my life, I realized I fought for everyone but myself. So you can't be a fighter for justice for others and not justly fight for yourself. And in a narcissistic relationship, most time you are being done unjustly, right? So last previous videos, I was telling you about the issues I went through with my aunt being the biggest narcissist in my life. She is hands down. Hands down. Y'all remember that game, hands down? The biggest narcissist in my life. But the second biggest narcissist is her son, my baby cousin, the one that was like my baby. Y'all know, because of my husband's wrongful conviction, I always wanted kids. But I've always been a motherly type. Like, I had to raise three of my sisters. I raised my little sister. She had her children really young, and my mother was taking care of her son basically when so that she could finish school and stuff when my mother passed away. So it was like his mother. It was basically like it was his mother because my mother was playing the role of his mother basically. And when she passed away, it was like his mother was snatched from him. So I help raise him. I always have my nieces and nephews. I got my grandkids now, yes. And I was just thinking back, like, Lord, though I didn't birth all these kids into the world, I wanted 5 kids, but my husband was wrongfully convicted, and I felt like something was snatched from me, like that. I'm such a great mother, but I can't be a mother because of this situation. I always thought about adopting one day once I got myself together because I did not want to bring no child through this storm. I don't want to be the one to mess any child up because childhood hurt takes a lifetime to get over. But I realized God gave me my children. I didn't birth them in the world, but they're still my children, right? So my cousin, my aunt was not really that motherly type. The one that I referred to as being the biggest narcissist in my life, she wasn't that motherly type. So her children, I took a special, like they had a special place in my heart because I couldn't understand how, my aunt and my mother grew up in the same household. We live in a decent household, and they're living like not the way kids should be living. So he was little during this time, and I hated seeing the things that they had to go through. So I would always have him with me. He was my baby. And when he turned about, I literally seen when he turned narcissistic, when he took that spirit on. It was like night and day. It was like he was this one person, and that's who I loved. That's who was joyous. That's who we used to laugh and talk and stuff like that. And then overnight, it was like he flipped and he became argumentative, and he became, I have to have the last word and I'm always right, and don't say anything to question nothing that I say because I'm right and you're like. Before he took on that nasty spirit, I literally seen it. And he took that spirit on when he was 15. When he was 15. Prior to that was the real him. After that was, and I couldn't understand. My aunt would sit back and talk for hours and hours about how he does this, and this, and he don't care about nobody. She even had program in her phone when he calls the devil. She literally refers to him as the devil. But I'm like, you act the same way. Like literally, they can see the nasty behavior, the narcissistic spirit, that disgusting spirit on the other person, but they can't see it in themselves. They can't see, my aunt can't see that he acts exactly like you. And he can't see that he acts just like his mother. So I never understood that. But he got older, and he became the second biggest narcissist in my life. And I do have that story time where I was saying how we, the final discard with him. I can link that in the description box. But now it's time to tell some stories, girl. This should be a whole nother video. So maybe I should make it a whole nother video. Because this one is funny, but that just walked you up to this point. So I'm going to stop this and I'm going to start over. All right, I'll be right back.